if you had to change one thing in terms of the people, like what's been your experience like lately? Now you're in your 40s and stuff like that. What or how have the people gradually, like I guess, changed? Or I don't know what I'm trying to capture is how have the people been since from the time that you got here to the time now, and has it been good or bad for your personal development? And what are some of the things that you want to add moving forward while you're here
in the UAE.
in the UAE?
Um, I mean, the long relationships that I've had, I've seen a lot of growth in people, and I've seen, especially with my peers, people just move on, develop families, things like that, which is a beautiful thing. And you see people that really want to, create a life here and a home here, and you see it in the passion. We just interviewed Raj and all that, and his commitment to family and extended family. I think you get a lot of that here when people come for, I say, more than 4 or 5 years, is people want to make it that their home, and you see that kind of camaraderie
Right.
with the people here. So I think that's pretty cool.
I think for me, and I may say something controversial or not. I'm an American, right? I'm an American.
Hmm.
Like I grew up in New York.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of Americans here. There's not a lot of people like you and me, right? So
yeah,
like when I'm around New Yorkers or people just from the Northeast in general,
yeah,
there's a certain understanding of how we move
yeah,
underneath, right? And for me, going back to the community, I was always big on like I don't need a lot of people in my life. I don't need a lot of this in my life, blah blah blah, whatever it is. But I need New Yorkers in my life, or I need like people who are Northeasterners in my life because I love my British people. I love people from all around the world, but like they just speak a different language and they move
yeah.
differently and they're culturally different. And I
Hmm.
love that. I love having a diversity group of friends, but I was missing
That core.
that core, right? I need
Yeah,
that core, like people who understand me, people who get me, certain codes
yeah,
that get broken,
yeah,
that have certain consequences
yeah,
that are just not respected in other places, right?
yeah.
That are just like not our thing here. So like I just didn't I felt like there was a lot of misunderstanding sometimes.
Hmm.
Like, if I'm just Aggie, I'm just being Aggie. Like
Yeah,
they're not taking it, oh man, why is he let's talk about this. I'm just Aggie because you're annoying.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I could just tell that to another New Yorker, stop being annoying. Here, you can't do that to certain other places because they're gonna take it a different way. And I'm using a negative context, but like for me, like I think New Yorkers are really good at being like creating their own community and creating their own energy. And I just didn't feel like I
hmm,
had the space here to do that. And and I think that's the reason why, although the UAE professionally was a great place for me, it wasn't like the best place for me personally. Like I had like good friends here, but they were friends from when I had times in London. Like I didn't make a lot of like new UAE friends. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because when I was working, and not that I was standoffish, but I didn't go out a lot, and because I didn't go out a lot, I mean, you remember I would stay home all week. Sometimes,
yeah.
some weekends, you'd be like, "Damn, I don't know how you in Dubai staying home." And Abu Dhabi's a lot easier,
You
but
still stay home in New York too.
I still stay home in
Yeah.
New York, man. I still stay home in New York, but that's because I'm forced to stay home
Yeah.
working. But I do make much more of an effort to go out now, now that Alex is back and stuff. So
What's a funny or surprising interaction you had being back home recently?
recently, oh,
Yeah.
bro, they. I don't even want to say this because, I was taking the train. I won't say what train.
Hmm.
Taking the train one time, and there was a guy, straight guy. Like I'm talking to him, he's in a suit, he's in a shirt. I thought he was going to an office job, and he was homeless, right? He
Hmm.
was. I only found out because of what's about to happen. So he's talking to me mid conversation. He's like, "Man, I gotta take a piss." Okay, I was like, "Okay, why you need to tell me that?" He goes in between the train cars, and he starts, relieving himself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, he comes back and starts having the conversation to me normal. And he tries
That's
to dap me up.
crazy.
he,
Nah.
he tries to dap me up. And I was like, are you crazy? He's like,
What you
yo,
did? What you?
I was like, nah, I'm not
Oh,
shaking hands, bro. Like, what the hell? I was like, yo, you
You
cool?
probably give him the
Nah, I
elbow,
didn't give him no elbow.
like.
He just somebody going in between the train cars, man. And he was telling
That's
me, no, like
crazy.
the sad part of the story is that he was telling me that he's been out of a job for like 9 months. As we know, the global economy is not doing great
Yeah.
right now in terms of like job employment. He's been out of a job for 9 months and he couldn't afford to pay his rent anymore. He's been in shelters in and out for like the last
Yeah.
few months. Yeah. So he doesn't have any family in the city. He has like a cousin somewhere else that he can't really stay with. But it's to show you that some people are really out here full blown suits, going to job interviews every day,
And homeless though.
and homeless, and people who work who are homeless. There's people who work who are homeless. So
Yeah.
that was very jarring for me in terms of like, wow, like city's great, but like now the homelessness epidemic in New York, you know, mental health crisis is happening. It's really all just culminating together and creating this like sort of anxious energy. And it sort of like weighs on me a little bit because, you know, I'm incredibly blessed to do the things that I do, and God bless me for being stressed out, for working a job that I love, and also creating a platform whereby people just tune in just to listen to us and we can grow from it.
Yeah.
But it also dawned upon me that like people would wish for my worst day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And the city has kept me humble more than anything over the last year that I've been there. And as opposed to what Raj said on the prior episode, he wanted to teach his son not to be entitled. And I feel like when I was living here a little bit, because of how easy things are sometimes,
Yeah.
it kind of made me entitled a little bit. Like, oh, this is just how life is. You know what I mean? This is how people need to bend over backwards. And it's like, it's not supposed to be that way. So I kind of lost my way a little bit from that perspective. And I've kind of like shifted my moral compass going back to New York. Not that things are bad here. It's just, that's not how I was raised.
Yeah.
It was actually my grandma who said that to me.
Okay.
So she
What'd
called
you
me
do?
out. I was just like out in a restaurant one time, and I didn't like how they were. You know how restaurant culture is here, right? And I just didn't appreciate the lack of service we were getting a little bit in New York. And I was over here like, yo, it was straight. It felt like I was an Emirati in there, right? Like, and then they were like, oh, hold on, like time out, like you know, they're human beings just like you. Granted, she did agree with me that they were like a little like.
Yeah.
Late, but like she's like, you just gotta wait. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's a busy
Yeah.
restaurant.
There's always good service here. Always good service.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there's not bad service. There's good service here, but sometimes if the service does slip, there's a certain reaction that happens, right? Because that's not the norm here because of the service always being good.
Yeah.
As opposed to in like a place like New York, maybe the service isn't always great. And they still asking you for 20% at the end.
Yeah. They're gonna take it. They ain't gonna ask you. They're gonna take it.
Yo, you see them
It's mandatory.
in bills sometimes. Just side note, I didn't realize this, but like sometimes you can leave a double tip.
Yeah, no, sometimes it's mandatory where they automatically add the
I'm like,
gratuity.
nah. Like, we're going down
You
to...
gotta ask them, like, hey, is tip already included?
I didn't know
sometimes they'll
that. I didn't know that.
And ask for the full bill. But sometimes, oh yeah, use the card, and that's it. They swipe you through.